Alright, what's up guys, it's your boy Spiderwolf back for another Umamusume video. So today we're going to be going over the brand new summer banner that just dropped. It's already available in the game, so if you guys already pulled, you know, not a bad idea. But before we get started though, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys could drop me a like, comment, subscribe. Would really help me out trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But with that being said, let's get right into this. So before we get right into things, because it's like my most recent video since it's been like about a week or so, I'll be honest guys, I had a really tough weekend for me. I got sick and I was also busy with a couple other things, like life things. Had to go to like a wedding and or not have to, but like I wanted to go to someone invited me to a wedding. I really wanted to go, so I went, and then I also got sick, so I was kind of screwed over with that a little bit. So yeah, you know, a whole bunch of things came up this weekend, and overall it was just like pretty rough. So definitely made things a little bit rough around the edges to get some things done, but yeah, also the other thing too is that there hasn't been too much content. You know how I kind of run, if you guys have been keeping up with the channel a little bit, you know how I've been kind of keeping things running so far with videos where it's mainly been like news videos and occasionally some of the videos when I got time to edit those. But yeah, for the time being, it's literally just been like, you know, whenever something new comes out, that's usually when I make a new video. So for JJK, if you guys are, if any of you guys have, you know, are here for that, I'll make another one after this one, basically, because there's actually something new. But anyways, enough of that. Enough a little, you know, it's a little bit of what is it? I forgot the term is, but you know the term where it's like, you know, you kind of say a couple things of like just general like house rules, you know, like information. You know, I just wanted to talk about that. But anyways, for you guys who are more curious about what the fuck is going on with this banner and stuff, and if you guys should summon, let's get right into that. So you know, we have a brand new summer banner with Special Week and Maruzensky, both of them summer versions, right? Available on the same banner. And then a support card banner with Sweep, Tosho, and Winning Ticket. Now, from a general sense, if you guys want like a quick and easy answer, the Uma banner is pretty worth it because Summer Maruzensky is pretty good. So it wouldn't be a bad idea if you want to roll for her because she's pretty good. And the support card banner is not too bad, but you can also skip it if you want to. But if you guys want a little bit more details as to why, then you know, keep watching. So starting things off here first, we have Special Week here. She has 77 speed, 90 stamina, 103 power, 98 guts, and 82 wit. Now her main strong suit here, you know, is power. That's the one that has 103. For tracks, she has A in turf, G for dirt, so she's really good in turf tracks. Distances, Bryn is F, miles is C, medium is A, and long is A. So she's really good in medium races. I mean medium distances and long distances, right? So that's where you kind of want to build her more towards. For her style, she has G in front, A for pace, A for late, and N for C. So she's really good as a pace chaser, really good as a late runner. Can work a bit as like an end closer, but it's going to be a little bit more rough. But you're mainly going to be focusing on her on pace and late, and then front, of course, you're not going to bother with. For her growth rate, she's really good at building up power, she's really good at building up stamina, and she's also pretty good at building up guts too, with 10%. So 10% for all three of these, all along the board. Pretty cool. Her unique skill here, Dazzling Diver. Recover endurance by relaxing after activating 2 skills mid-race. So that's pretty, you know, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, I'm not thinking about it. I mean, this is not too bad. I'm not too sure if this is actually like a really good skill, but since most people haven't really talked about Special Week, I'm going to assume it's not that crazy. Because, I mean, it's not really that crazy when you think about it, right? Because you only get some endurance recovery only after you activate 2 skills, right, midway through the race. So you kind of have to build towards that, which is not impossible, but it might not be like the craziest thing in the world. Now for her ascension stuff here, we have Sunny Days, 90 skill points, moderately increases performance in sunny weather, so that's not too bad. Fast and Furious, 180 skill points, increases velocity mid-race for late surgers, so that's pretty good. Tail Held High, 100 skill points, slightly increased velocity after activating many skills mid-race, 100 skill points, so this one works pretty well in tandem with her unique skill. And then finally, it's on 170 skill points, increases velocity when passing another runner mid-race, so honestly, another not bad one, right? Yeah, so honestly, her essential skills are pretty good for the most part, I'd say. You got one for increasing your velocity here mid-race if she's a late surger. You have another one doing the same thing if you're midway through mid-race and you activate a couple skills. And then the last one here, same thing basically, will increase velocity when passing another runner mid-race. So if your runner is a pace chaser or late runner, it works really, really well, right? So honestly, not bad for skills there. Moving over to Maruzensky, the true highlight of this patch or banners or whatever, right? The true highlight. So Let's break her down. She has 100 speed, 69, funny number, right? 69 stamina, power is 93, guts is 87, and wit is 101. So she has pretty good stats, I'd say, right there off the off rip. 100 speed, 101 wit winning by like 1 point, but still really good, I'd say. For tracks here, she has A in turf, D for dirt, so really good in tracks. Maybe there's a way you can maybe make her work for dirts, but I wouldn't bother. Distances, B for sprint, A for mile, B for medium, and C for long. So she's almost like Oguri Cap, where she can work for almost any one of these. You can make her work for sprints, you can make her work for miles. I mean, she's good for miles, right? But you can make her work for sprints, you can make her work for mediums, and you can maybe work for make her work for longs, but it's probably not like super worth it, but it is like a little bit more on the, you could if you really wanted to, right? If you want to make like a meme build or something. For her styles, she has A for front, E for pace, G for late, and G for end, so she's only good for front running, and not really good for anything else, right? So you only want to put her in the front. Now, which is kind of funny, right? Because the OG Maruzensky is a front runner too, basically. Her growth rate here is 15 for speed, and then 15 for wit, so honestly pretty good stats, I'd say. Those are really good to go for. You basically, anything that's not guts is really good. Now her unique skill here, a kiss for courage, increases velocity enthusiastically when positioned towards the front in the second half of the race after recovering endurance with a skill. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm gonna assume there's gonna probably be some part of her kit that's gonna make her make it a little bit easier, right? Let's see. So essential skills here: 777, slightly gain energy with 777 meters remaining, 160 skill points. We have restless here, reduce fatigue on an uphill front runner, IED skill points. Speed Eater, 160 skill points, slightly steal velocity from runners behind when in the lead mid-race mile, so it works really well because she's going to be in the front. And finally, on her last one here, Mile Maven, 160 skill points, widen the margin when in the lead, early race for mile races. So, yeah, not too bad either. Widen the margin, yeah, it's actually not too bad. Granted, it does say early race, so it's not like the best thing in the world. I think it'd be better if it was like late in the race, but that's still not too bad. Basically gives her a little bit of advantage, so she's gonna be, more further up. So if you guys have noticed, like with some of the queens, they're like really far up ahead. It's basically gonna work the same way, I'm imagining. All right, and let's continue. Also, real quick though, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I thought this was worth mentioning. This person did mention that apparently, if you don't get her here, you're gonna probably have to wait for the anniversary tickets, which is gonna be quite a while from now. But at the same time, with most Umas in this game, they should be added to the standard banner and to every other banner after their release. So there's technically a chance you would be able to get her, I'd imagine, once her banner does leave. If I'm correct about that, which I'm pretty sure I am. So, there's a chance you might get split by her if you pull for any future Umas, right? And then now let's go over to the support cards, right? So very basic stuff we go through with this page, basically. I mean, we could go through all of it, right? But I like using the Game Tour one a little bit more. But for here, basically, the main thing we're looking at here is her career event, Crusader, 110 skill points. Widen the field of view, position towards the back, late race as an end closer. So this is going to work more for special week, but of course it can also work for plenty of other animals, right? So not too bad, I guess. Not too crazy. And then the other one here for winning ticket, hard worker, 120 skill points. Moderately increased passing ability as a late surger, also quite good. A little bit funny though, because this also is like a special week kind of card. Nothing really from Maruzensky. So I find that quite funny in my opinion. All right, now let's go over to special week on Game Toro and let's look at a bit more detail. So here's our max stats. 94 speed, 110 stamina, 125 power, 119 guts, and then 102 wit. And then we went over these. Though sometimes these are a little bit different compared to the actual ascension skills, right? Yeah, because there's no, there's no like thunderbolt step mentioned. So moderately avoid being surrounded while positioned toward the back mid race, and then the other one should basically still be there. So yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's a little bit different. So like innate skills are, I'm pretty sure, basically like the skills to get off a rip of what Anuma already has, and then awakening skills are what you get, of course, when you awaken, right? So she gets ramp up, slightly increased velocity when passing another runner, and position pilfer, slightly increased velocity mid race as a late surgery. Sometimes some Umas have pretty good innate skills where you could do the funny, not funny method, but the funny like like a funny playthrough of like for like an Uma's career where you just don't buy any skills until the very end, which is the best way to go about it if you can, so that way you can get the most amount of discounts as humanly possible. But sometimes the Uma just sucks, so you kind of have to buy skills or they get a little bit unlucky. Anyways, let's go to evolve skills here. So for Fast and Furious, if you guys are wondering what that one does again, that one increases velocity mid-race for late surgers. And then basically all your conditions are going to be when you win any graded race as a late surger 2 times and have at least 600 stamina, then you can transform it into Midsummer Resolution. This one is basically for betweeners, so at a random point during the middle part of the race, if you're not in the front, your speed will increase. So basically if you're like kind of in the back as a, a late runner, then you're going to get a speed boost halfway in through the race. Now we have another one here for It's On. It's On increased velocity when passing another runner mid-race. And then this one's going to transform into Midsummer Commander. And if you overtake someone during the middle part of the race, your speed will increase. So basically, literally both working in tandem, one when you're in the back, in the beginning of the middle of the race, and then another one once you pass someone, right? So then you get another speed increase. And then the condition for this one is you have to win the Tokyo Yushin Japanese Derby, or you have to win any graded medium race 2 times, and you have to have at least 800 power. So you want to have a lot of power and a lot of stamina. So there you go. And then here's are going to be her skills from events, from like, different interactions stuff, right? So we have pace strategy, slightly recover endurance when passed by another runner mid-race, home stretch haste, slightly increased velocity in the last spurt, that's one of my favorites, corner depth, slightly increased velocity on a corner with skill turning, Tokyo Racecourse, moderately increased performance at a Tokyo Racecourse, Nakayama Racecourse, same thing but for Nakayama Racecourses, Fighter, slightly increased passing ability as a late surger, Stamina to spare, slightly decreased fatigue early race as a pace chaser, and then Slick Surge, slightly increased acceleration late race as a late surger. So pretty good skills overall, I'd say. Increasing her acceleration, increasing her stamina, giving her a couple bit of recovery, and then of course also for 2 specific races, giving her overall general increase in performance. So it's pretty cool. Now for her races here, I don't know if you guys actually care about these, but I like to throw them in just because I feel like these are important. And also sometimes may pique your interest because of like, oh hey, I don't have an Uma that has this race available, because sometimes there are missions that's like, oh hey, do this specific race and place like top 1 or top 3, right? So that's kind of why I like to mention these for any like missions like that where it's like, oh hey, this Uma has it, okay cool, right? But here's the races pretty much. So we have the general make debut, then we have place 5th or better in the Kisaragi show, we have place 5th or better in the Tokyo Yushin, our Japanese Derby. We have placed 3rd or better in the Kika Show, placed 3rd or better in the Tenno Show Spring, placed 2nd or better in the Japan Cup, and then finally placed 1st in the Armin Kenna. So not a lot of races actually, quite little, but I'm gonna imagine that probably for like a couple of these there's gonna be like a bit of downtime right before you get to the next race. But for total races, this is like not that bad. I do wonder though what the best Uma is for like if you're trying to get your dailies done the fastest. I do wonder which Uma has like the fastest like objectives or fastest races, right? Like the shortest amount of like resting time that you can like or training time, and then the shortest amount of races, right? Like I wonder which Uma has that where it's like if you want your dailies to be done like really quickly, you throw this Uma on, you do their stuff, and then you're done in like maybe like 5 minutes, right? I wonder if there's any Umas that are like that. There's probably some that are close, I'd imagine, but this seems pretty good though for the most part if you want something a little bit quicker, right? But of course, mind you, some of the training turns will probably be quite a while, right? Maybe like 10 plus here, right? But yeah, overall not too bad. Now let's go over to Maruzensky here. So here's our max stats: 122 speed, 85 stamina, 114 power, 107 guts, and then 122 wit. And then here's going to be your innate skills here. So we have corner recovery, slightly recover endurance on a corner with efficient turning. Productive plan, slightly widen the margin when in the lead early race. And then Moxie, slightly reduce fatigue on an uphill as a front runner. So 2 recovery, 1 sort of speed, not really. It's more for like literally as it says, she's going to be up further ahead, so not too bad. We already went over the awakening skills. Of course, these are the mats here. Actually, do let me know if you guys want me to like name these, but I'm pretty sure if you can kind of tell from like the, I mean, I guess it's kind of hard, right? Because both these are red, right? But like one of these says like Osaka High, and then this one says Japanese Derby, and then this one's like Tenno Show. But yeah, let me know if you guys want me to like mention these in the future again, because I just realized I kind of stopped talking about like which of these they are, but you know, you can also see them. But at the same time, right, like this one's kind of hard to tell because it's like dark red. This is like slightly like lighter red, right? But anyways, for the evolve skills here, for Restless, so Restless is this one, reduce fatigue on uphill as a front runner. And then this one, the conditions are win the Tokyo Yushin Japanese Derby, or win any G2 or G1 race as a front runner 2 times, and you have to have at least 800 wit. And then this one transforms into Dazzling Wild Girl. So as a runner, during any uphill battle beyond the first 10 seconds of the race, your stamina will greatly recover. Okay, it's interesting. So basically, if there's any like uphill, like in the like immediately, basically, then you're gonna get some stamina recovery early on, which is pretty interesting. Then we have another one here from Mile Maven. This one here, widen the margin when in the lead early race. And then this one, the conditions are going to be win any graded race 2 times and get at least 2 skills for mile aptitude. This one transforms into ruler of the stage. So for any mile races during the second half of the opening part of the race, if you're in the first half of the pack, your speed will greatly increase. So this will be pretty easy for her. That's actually quite good. So it's going to make her have an easier time to stay up in the front. So that's pretty cool. Here's her skills from events: huge lead, slightly increased ability to maintain the lead when leading by a large margin mid-race as a sprint runner. Deep breaths, slightly decreased fatigue by taking a breather upon entering a straight long, so pretty good, especially for the last part of the race because it's a straight. And then fast pace here, slightly increased ability to go to the front mid-race as a front runner, so that's also really good. So we have one in the beginning that helps her move up to towards the front, and then we have another one here that's like midway. Another one's going to help her stay up more in the front, so that's pretty cool. And then here's going to be her races. So we have the make debut, place 5th or better in the Asahi High Futurity Stakes. Then we have place 3rd or better in the Spring Stakes, place 5th or better in the Satsuki Show, place 5th or better in the Tokyo Yushin Japanese Derby, participate in the Army Kennen, place 1st in the Osaka High, place 1st in the Yasuda Kinen, and then finally place 1st in the Tenno Show Autumn. So a few more races here. We do have one participate, so those are always kind of fun, where it's like it gives you a little bit of a break where you don't have to use anything, right? Because you just need to participate and you're good to go. So that's pretty cool. Now let's go over to support cards. So let's take a look at these, right? So of course, as usual, we'll look at it as 0 dupes, and then we'll look at it at max dupes. So as 0 dupes here, we have unique effect, increases the effectiveness of friendship training by 10%, increases speed gain when training together by 1, friendship bonus 25%, increases the effectiveness of friendship training, race bonus 5%, increased stats by, you know, usual, fan bonus 15%, specialty priority 50, and then finally initial speed at 20. And then at max dupes, we're looking at 35 friendship bonus, so that's increased by 10. We got race bonus by 10, so that's going to be a 5% increase. We have fan bonus 20%, so that's increased by 5%. Specialty priority gets bumped up to 65, so an extra was a 15 points there. Initial speed now gets bumped up to 25, so you get an extra 5 points there. And then she gets a skill this now gets a skill bonus point of 1, so you get an extra skill point basically whenever you train with this card. And then you get 30% mood effect whenever you train with this card as well, so that's very handy too. Overall stats here, not too bad. I do always love a good race bonus, and friendship bonus is also quite nice to help you speed up a little bit quicker. Mood effect is also pretty good, so overall I'd say it's not too bad. Yeah, so honestly I'd say it's not too bad. I wish there was a bit more of the hint discount because I always like those, but overall I'd say this is not too bad for MLB. Now let's take a look at what skills she actually gives you a discount for. So she gives you a discount for after school stroll, slightly reduce fatigue on a downhill as an end closer, slipstream, slightly decrease wind resistance when following directly behind another runner, prudent positioning, moderately increased navigation early race. Then we have I can see right through you, slightly widen the field of view when situational awareness when moving sideways as an end closer, trick front, slightly increased fatigue for rush runners behind when positioned towards the front mid race, trick rear, slightly basically the same thing, but this time for anybody ahead of you when you're positioned towards the back of the mid race. And then Murmur, slightly disturb runners directly ahead mid-race medium. So she has 3 debuff skills that she discounts, so that's pretty cool. So for any of you wanting to build an evil nature, that could be pretty handy. As for the other skills here that she gives discounts to, they're alright. Not too crazy though. I'm not too crazy about the navigation one, so and situational awareness isn't too crazy in my opinion, but It's decent, it's not too bad. And then of course you get +6 speed, +2 power, so that's kind of cool. And then these are skills you get from the actual event of this card, which is going to be Straightaway Spurt. Slightly increased acceleration on a straight in the last spurt as an end closer, that's actually quite good. And then we have Crusader, widen the field of view when positioned toward the back late race as an end closer. This one's okay. I will say Straightaway Spurt does sound quite nice though. So yeah, honestly, a decent card for what it gives, decent hints, discounts, and then one pretty good skill, one like okay skill from events, at least in my opinion. Now let's take a look at the other one here, a winning ticket. So this one has amplifies the effect mood when training together by 15%, increases stamina gain when training together by 1, friendship bonus 15%, initial friendship gauge 25, hint level 2, that's pretty good, I love those, hit frequency 40%, also quite good, definitely really nice, I appreciate those a lot, and then mood effect 20%. And then at MLB, now we're looking at friendship bonus 20%, so I get increased by 5, initial friendship gauge gets increased to 35, so an extra 10, hint level 3, that's quite good, so it gets an extra level there. Hit frequency now becomes 50%, so an extra 10%. Mood effect gets increased by 10%, so now it's 30%, and then we get a guts bonus of 1. Race bonus 10%, so that's really cool. Just immediately, just hey, have a free 10% race bonus, so that's cool. And then fan bonus is 15%, so that's also quite nice. And then here's going to be here skills that she gives discounts for. So we have firm conditions, moderately increased performance on firm ground, that one's not too bad. Cloudy days, moderately increased performance in cloudy weather, this one's okay, very situational though. Position pilfer, slightly increased velocity mid-race as a late surger, not too bad. Outer swell, slightly increased velocity when passing another runner on the outside of the final corner, late surger, that's quite good. Slick surge, slightly increased acceleration late race as a late surger, so basically you only want to put this on any Uma that's going to be focused on being a late surger, but actually not bad for in my opinion. I don't think these are too bad for what she gives discounts for. Not like I said, same thing, like not the craziest thing, but I feel like these are going to be a bit more useful compared to the last one, especially because since there's also like a smaller amount. I feel like this is going to be much more useful, I feel like, in my opinion, for running in a deck. And then here's going to be the skills you get from the actual event of this card. You get 777s, slightly gain energy with 777 meters remaining. We got 1,500,000 CC. I think I said those numbers right. At least I hope I did. Slightly increased velocity on an uphill as a late surger. We got medium straightaways, slightly increased velocity on a straight medium. We got Maverick, moderately increased performance when no other runners are using the same strategy. This one can be kind of good, but at the same time, eventually this is going to be kind of not that great because it's going to probably be about other Umas that do have this. We got Hard Worker here, moderately increased passing ability as a late surger, so this one's actually not quite bad. I think that's actually quite good. Actually, no, yeah, I think that's actually quite good. Because yeah, if you're a late surger, like basically anyone that's trying to pass other Umas, I think having a skill like this is quite useful to help you, give you the extra like push to like get past another Uma, right? Then we have late surger corners, slightly increased velocity on a corner as a late surger. So basically like the last corner could also work really well, right? So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'd say overall this card actually has some pretty useful stuff. Like I'd say this is not a bad card in my opinion. I think this is low-key a little bit better than Sweet Tosho, but we'll take a look at the tier list to see which one actually ranks better. But at least in my opinion, I low-key feel like Winning Ticket's a bit better. But that's just what I think. But I think Sweet Tosho may be a little bit better, but I'm not too sure why. But you know, we'll take a look what the tier list says right now, actually. So look at Uma here tier list. So Sweet Tosho is actually considered S tier. Like I said, I don't think Sweet Tosho was like bad. I just kind of feel like some of the stuff for the Winning Ticket has is a bit better. But they do consider Sweet Tosho here to be quite good because it is an S tier. So it's literally like right below MLB Kitasan Black. So it's actually quite good. So yeah, so you guys do get this card, specifically MLB is quite good. If you do get a 2 dupes though, it is considered A rank, so it's on the same tier as like the other Tosho card, which is kind of funny. MLB, the SR one. So it's not too bad. So if you get it basically a 3 dupes, it's in between A and S. So not a bad card to go for, but not one that's like that's like super crazy that you need to go out of your way for, right? But it's not a bad card. It's pretty good if you get it at least with a couple dupes, right? Like if you get a 1 dupe, right, it's gonna be a C tier. So which I will say is a little bit funny because it's actually apparently it's better than Kitasan Black with 2 dupes. But yeah, just something to keep in mind, right? Like, it is a pretty good card, but you do kind of have to get it multiple dupes, which most support cards are, you know, play that route, right? And then for the other one here, for winning ticket's actually going to be considered C tier at MLB, so, which is kind of funny because I thought it was actually not that bad. I thought it was actually quite good, but apparently it's considered C tier, not that great. And then at 0 dupes, it's actually no, 2 dupes, it's considered E tier. So yeah, very unfortunate. So yeah, apparently winning ticket is actually quite bad. I'm not too sure what the reason is for exactly, like because I thought some of these are not too bad, but apparently this one's a lot worse. And Sweet Tosho, let me know down in the comments below if you guys do know why that is. Maybe there's something I'm not like understanding here, or like noticing as to like why Sweet Tosho here is considered like way better than winning ticket. My only guess is that maybe because Sweet Tosho is also a speed card, and there's not many speed cards that are really good. But yeah, so pretty interesting. But yeah, regardless, yeah, let me know if you guys do know the reason why. Because I'm not too sure. Like I said, I think overall the stuff that this card does have is good, but I low-key thought that this card was better. But who knows? Maybe the overall the support hints here and the skills from events and like the overall just general like stats here, the passives you get from like having MLB are like just that good, and maybe that's why. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else I'm missing out on. Alright, real quick guys, I completely forgot about the fact that this is, we're also having a story event with this banner patch, whatever you want to call it, and I completely forgot. This is the free-to-play card. I completely forgot to mention it, so we're going to cover it real quick right now. But a quick basis, it's kind of trash, so if you don't want to grind that event too heavily, don't worry about it. It's not that crazy. Of course, it's still pretty good because it won't be SSR card, but it's not that good. So if you want to skip out on the event and don't want to grind too much, there's another event you can kind of skip out on if you really want to, but we'll quickly break it down. So MLB, we're just going to go straight into this. Unique effect: increases effectiveness of training performed together by 5%, increases initial power when beginning a career playthrough by 20, friendship bonus 25%, initial power 30, specialty priority 20, training effectiveness 5%, initial friendship gauge 15, power bonus of 1, hint level 3, so that's kind of good, and hit frequency at 40%. And then these are going to be the hints you get discounts for, so your competitive spirit. Moderately increases performance when at least 5 other runners are using the same strategy. Preferred position: slightly decreased fatigue mid-race as a pace chaser. Rosy outlook: slightly decreased fatigue when in the lead mid-race on medium races. Prepare to pass: slightly increased ability to break out of the pack on the final corner as a pace chaser. Up tempo: slightly increased positioning ability, position towards the front mid-race, medium races. Shifting gears: slightly increased performance or slightly increased passing ability, position toward the front mid-race on mile races. So some decent stuff right there. Nothing too crazy in my opinion. And then going on to skills from events: race planner, decreased fatigue mid-race as a pace chaser. Preferred position: slightly decreased fatigue mid-race as a pace chaser. And then finally stamina spirit: slightly decreased fatigue in early race as a pace chaser. So basically just decreasing your fatigue there. Then this is going to be like a positioning skill, another positioning skill, break out of the pack, some recovery stuff. But yeah, overall the stuff it gives sounds not that great, sounds very mediocre, or even below mediocre. This sounds not that good. And then the overall passive buffs here seem kind of okay, nothing too crazy there. And then on the little tier list here that I got, at 2 dupes it is considered E tier, and then at MLB it is considered D tier, so not really that good. Don't need to worry about this one. This one doesn't really benefit you too much, so if you want to get it, cool. Otherwise you can just get the one copy and be perfectly fine, because it doesn't really do a whole lot for your account, but at the same time it is an MLB SSR card you could get for your account. Anyways, on to the rest of the video. But with that being said, let's also look at the Umas. Let's see how good they are, right? So as usual, 1 is not good, 1 is basically if they're your favorite but you know they suck, and then 5 is meta. So let's go ahead and take a look at the brand new Umas. So starting off with Summer Maruzensky here. So as a front runner, she's considered a 3, so midway, not really that good, which is interesting. So she's not considered super meta, she's considered like kind of average, right? For team child, she's considered a 4 for mile front running, so she's considered basically meta, really good. And as a parent, she's considered 4, so also basically meta, so she's really good, right? And let's look at a little summary here. So Summer Maruzensky is the benchmark for runner Umas. She has a gold heel and mid-leg speed unique. She used to be the best, but became outclassed with Valentine's Bourbon's release. These days, runners usually come with either fortune or good or groundwork, while Summer Maruzensky has neither, making her difficult to raise. Her unique is good to inherit to other runners who, or when there aren't two mandatory parents. In Stadium, Hills, and Mile aren't always there, so her gold recovery won't always trigger, or often won't trigger. Make sure you have a backup heal. Okay, interesting. So what they're basically saying is that her unique is pretty good for giving to other Umas, but it might not always work. And then of course, as usual with a lot of things in this game, eventually she will get power creep, right? And also you do kind of need an extra heal. So yeah, so she does have some benefits, but you could also like low-key kind of escape out on her if you really wanted to. But I'd say it wouldn't be a bad idea if you want some for anyways. Alright, and finally here for special weeks, Summer, we have her as a late, as a 4, so really good. Team Charles 5 mid late, so she's meta, so she's really good. And then as a parent, she's 2, so she kind of sucks as a parent. So let's see, Summer Special Week has a boring kit, but it's overall decently strong. Both of her golds evolve into 4 seconds, 4 S duration ones, which is very good. Her unique is very easy to trigger, and is a gold heal, making her easier to raise for mid and long inherited. It's only a white heal. Not sure what white heal means exactly, but I'm gonna assume it's not too bad. But yeah, honestly, she's kind of good. So with that being said, low key Special Week might be a little bit better, but I think Maruzensky Summer is gonna be better in the long run, just for the fact that she's more balanced out in terms of her rating, and as well as like she's really good as a parent, right? So she's gonna be more beneficial for future Umas, right? But with that being said, now hope this video helps you guys out. Honestly, I think Uma banner is way better, and I think it's not a bad idea if you want to summon for it. But and then support card banner is not too bad, but I don't think you're really gonna go out of your way for it, so you can probably skip it. But I say Uma banner is not that bad if you want to do a couple rolls. But at the same time with this game, they do kind of recommend, and overall it's just generally recommended, don't really pull on any banners unless you have the guaranteed amount of carrots to guarantee pity by whoever you want or whatever support card you're looking for. Otherwise it's not really worth it. And mind you, the next big character should be Christmas Ogre Cap, which should be coming not like soon, but like semi soon, like in another like 2 months or so. Yeah, like another like 2 months. We should be getting Christmas Ogre Cap, which I think she's gonna be coming maybe Christmas time. Otherwise she might be like January, but I think she's gonna be coming out like within the next like 2 months is when we should be seeing Christmas Ogre Cap, which is the next like actual top tier Uma you want to go for. Otherwise, this is a pretty good banner if you want to do a couple rolls for. I'm a little bit broke, but I'm gonna probably do a couple summons myself and see how things go. But yeah, with that being said, hope this video helps you guys out. Deliver you guys polls if you guys are playing something, which I don't think it's a bad idea. And with that being said, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace and take care, everybody.